Hey everybody, my name is Kat Kerr, and today we're going to be making this disc-bound mini journal called Your Tender Heart. So today we're using a 3x4 disc-bound journal as well as this Verde patina. And this patina comes with the patina as well as 4 colors. Now I decided to make 3 colors, 3 pages using the chocolate brown color, 3 using the copper color, and 3 using the brass color. Now this patina works by adding a base coat and letting it dry, and then adding a second layer of the same paint, and while that paint is wet you spray it with the patina spray and let it dry naturally. Here I decided to add some of the wet paint through a stencil, and then I added the spray and let them dry. Here's what they look like after the first layer dried. I really like the copper tones with the green, but the brass and the chocolate brown, not so much. Here I decided to add some of the copper on top of the chocolate brown, but instead of doing it somewhat neatly, I just took a crumbled paper towel and applied it that way, and then I sprayed it with the patina. I also added some more paint to the brass and did the same thing with the paper towel and added the patina spray and let them dry. Here's the chocolate brown once they dried, and I really like the way they came out. But the brass, yet again, I'm not feeling it. So what am I going to do? Now, if you remember in the beginning, I told you this patina kit came with 4 different colors. So I decided to take that 4th color, I applied it with a palette knife onto the brass, sprayed it with the patina spray, and let it dry. And this is what happened. Looks like actual gorgeous rust. I love the way they came out. Now that I had these beautiful backgrounds, the only thing left was to figure out what kind of focal to place on each page. Now the backgrounds are they're pretty vibrant. They're very grungy looking and busy, and so I wanted to come up with some sort of focal that would be soft and delicate in contrast to the grungy background. So I gathered fabric scraps, little crochet pieces that I had, some hand-dyed fabrics or little trims, and I just stitched them all together. I also included little pieces of Sari ribbon, any kind of little trim that I had laying around. I just stitched them together and created these little fabric beds. Now before I glued it down to the page, I first put 2 little holes on the back side. You'll see why in a bit. And then I used tacky glue and attached it to the page. Now even though the fabric bed is glued onto the page, the little holes in the back just help me to really secure it in place by adding a couple of stitches. Next I decided to use these watercolor art parts as my focal. Here I'm just trimming them down to size, and then I'm going to cover it in metallic gilding polish in gold. Now before I stitched on the little flower, I decided it needed something else. So here I just cut out a little circle from one of my mono prints using the gel press. I love to keep those handy because I end up using little bits of them in my projects. So I cut out a little circle using a circle punch. I stitched it onto the page, and then I stitched on the little flower. I secured it in place by adding a little bit of tacky glue as well as some text stickers, and this page is done. Now I wanted to keep the cover pretty simple, so I just added one of the flowers and a little bit of the Sari ribbon, and the front cover was finished. Lastly, I added the discs and assembled the book. Now I only ended up using 6 out of the 9 pages that I originally created. And the reason for this is just because the book ended up being really thick with all of the fabric pieces that I included. I really do like using these disc-bound books. I love that I can create one page at a time, and then when I'm finished I can assemble the book using the discs. I can include or exclude whatever pages I want for the journal, and I really do like that. I also appreciate how thick the pages are. This watercolor paper is thick and it takes layer upon layer beautifully. This video is brought to you by www.joggles.com. Thank you so much for watching. To see the materials used in this tutorial, see the description below.